going inward is how we get there. Because it's those patterns, especially this one that this particular client was having, of just not loving herself, just looking in the mirror and just loathing everything that she saw. And not just that, but, not having confidence in her abilities. And I worked with her over the course of several months, and that shift happened within her where she finally was able to see herself with love. Welcome to Empowered Now. I'm Colette Kati. Here we talk about real confidence, the kind that comes from trusting yourself, honoring your needs, and living with intention. Let's begin. Hello, welcome back. It is a new season of Empowered Now. I am so thrilled to be here. So much has happened in the last while since I have last been posting. Hopefully you saw the first episode back. That was my guest episode with Lindsay Sterling. We talked a lot about our overcoming the mindset that keeps us stuck in patterns that are disempowering. So if you haven't heard that episode, go back and listen to it. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here at this phase in life. And Lindsay and I talked a lot about the different trials that we have been through that have helped us get here. And that's where you are today. You have arrived after all of the trials that you've been through up until now. Let's take just a second, not too long, but just a second to reflect, just a moment to reflect on 2025 and all that you have come through. Just take a moment, take a deep breath and think about what was 2025 representing for you? What was it like for you? What did it feel like? What kind of experiences did you go through? Did you overcome? Maybe there was celebrations. Maybe there was triumphs. Maybe there was heartache and despair. And I want you to, in this moment, just take a deep breath in, and all of those emotions, all of those experiences, just breathe them in, take them in, fill up your lungs, fill up your belly, gather it all up, and let it go. Just let it go. Can you, in this moment, in January 2026, honor yourself in everything that you've experienced? And can you frame it in your mind as everything was for my good? And it's okay if that's difficult. Sometimes we go through stuff that we are still feeling. And, it's one area of trauma or, just of our lives in general that sometimes, we experience something once and it stays in our body and stays in our mind for a long time. Can you honor it? You don't have to like it. You don't have to relive it. Please don't think that that's what that means. But can you, in this moment, frame it as, I see you. I made it through that. I made it through you. And I'm here. And I see how I've grown from it. I see how I've overcome and made it through. And if you can't see it yet, that's okay. I just want you to offer you that moment to be in awe of yourself. Like you did it. There's so much that we push away, that we discount for ourselves, that we still decide to keep us down. Just take a moment to gather it all up, breathe it out. That was a thing. That was a phase. That was a period of time. That was an experience. And I'm here today. I have many of those from 2025. I think back to 2024, like in December and the beginning of 2025. And I actually keep a journal of, I like to journal, especially at the beginning and end of a year, to kind of reflect on, okay, where am I? Where was I last year? How have I grown? What have I come through? All of the things. And I did not actually reach many of my goals from 2024 or at the beginning of 2025. Here at the end of 2026, and I look back and I'm like, wow, that didn't happen. This didn't happen. I'm still working on this. This other thing happened that was felt like a massive failure. But as I look back on it and I choose to frame it with love, all of this was for my good, I can truly see how every experience helped me get to where I am today. which isn't exactly where I thought I would be or I hoped I would be. But I have learned so much and grown in so many ways, and I'm excited to share more of those experiences with you. But today I feel called to talk about the most important investment that you will ever make in yourself, because that's what we have the opportunity to do in this moment at the beginning of January 2026. And maybe you're somebody that you have a lot of big goals for yourself. Like you are, we're in 2026. It's a new beginning. I want to start fresh. I want to reach all these goals. That's kind of how I am. I like that energy of renewal and shedding what's not serving me and stepping into what is serving me and what I want to create and what I want to become. But I have also been in a place where the transition from year to year has just been, you know what, I survived it and I'm here and that's it. And things actually feel like they're amping up and things are getting harder. And that's where I'm at. And so I would just like to offer that insight to you can you just frame whatever you came through, even if it wasn't what you wanted, even if you got thrown a curveball or several curveballs, it wasn't what you wanted, can you reframe it now and just see it from the place that you're standing today? I made it through. I overcame. Here I am. What did I learn from? How did I grow? Because I promise you did in some way, shape, or form. And even if it doesn't feel like growth, maybe you feel worse. Maybe the way you can frame it is, what did I experience that I now understand and know that I'm ready to change, that I don't want to experience more of as I move into 2026? And that's where our topic comes from. Where am I today? What did I experience that I don't want to experience more of? What patterns am I living from that I don't want to continue? Because I promise you that whatever you are experiencing, if it's not desirable, if it's not in service to you, it can be changed. And that's where we're at. So we're going to talk about investing in yourself today, not just financially, but in every sense of the word. And perhaps the most important thing that you will do for yourself or invest in yourself in the most important area we will talk about today. So before we kind of get into that, I have something that I observed over this last holiday season that really has got me thinking, and I just wanted to share it with you. So I was invited to a holiday party from a best friend of mine. I just love her so much. And she works for a company that it's a smaller company. So one of the perks of the company is that everybody, for their holiday gift or for their Christmas bonus, they got to do a shopping spree at a local sporting goods store. And I'm like, how fun is this? They get a certain amount they get to spend, but the caveat or the stipulation was you have to spend it on yourself. You can't buy Christmas presents with it. You can't buy something for your kids or your family. It has to be for you. And I was like, well, dang, that's fun. That's a great Christmas present. Like, what a fun thing that they do. And it was so interesting to me how many women were having a difficult time spending money on themselves, investing in themselves. And the conversations around it and the things that I heard were, it's super easy to go and invest things, for my kids. If I were to, buy them clothes or buy them gifts or whatever it is, like that's super easy for me, but I have to look for something for myself. I don't know. I don't even know what I like. I don't know where to start. And if you're thinking like, girl, I don't have a problem with that, then maybe this isn't for you. But it was very interesting to me because I also was like, why are we having a hard time spending money on ourselves? Why are we doing this? And it was kind of a funny thing, but it really opened up a deeper mindset that so many of us experience and that myself, I have experienced in the past. It's this energy of maybe not even knowing what we want, what we like, but also not feeling deserving, not feeling worthy, maybe not feeling like this is a familiar thing to invest in myself and to choose myself and to give myself something nice, something just for me, something that doesn't even have a purpose maybe. It's just a gift to myself. And how uncomfortable that can feel for so many of us. Speaking from experience, especially as a mother, it can be very easy to see, like all the things that you can give your children. Like you want to give them such a good life. You want to share with them. You want to, make sure that you can give them all the things that they want. But when it comes to us, how often are we not choosing to give ourselves the same things? Just like an example that I've used in the past, eating breakfast. How many of you, raise your hand out there, how many of you skip breakfast? Maybe you make breakfast for your kids or you provide breakfast for your kids, but you don't actually eat breakfast yourself. And maybe that is a deeper, maybe you have weight loss goals and you're fasting or whatever it is. Like I get it, but it's that energy that you're coming at it with of they matter more than me and I'll figure it out. Or like, I'm fine. Like my purpose is to be there for them and to do for them and to give for them. And I don't really even know what I like. So hopefully I have painted the picture. And if you are out there thinking, yep, that's me. That is definitely my vibe. That is what I'm doing. And, count me in, sign me up. That is me. And what do I need to do about it? Maybe this is a really uncomfortable conversation for you because you're thinking, yeah, I should be that way. That's the way moms are, right? That's what we do is we sacrifice for the ones that we love so that they can have, and that's our job. That's our purpose, is to sacrifice so that they can have more. I definitely remember living from that energy. And my guess is that if you are living from that energy, you are burnt out, you are overwhelmed. You frequently have experiences of tears and low self-worth. And so let's talk about that today. Let's talk about how important it is that we shift that mindset. And I'm going to go into a little bit of scarcity versus abundance mindset, because when we're talking about investing in ourselves, investing in our future, investing in our financial well-being, our mental well-being, any of that kind of stuff, we can't get away without talking about the root of where this comes from. Our lack of ability to invest in ourselves or in important things in our lives that will help us comes from that scarcity mindset. So when we're talking about scarcity versus abundance, scarcity says, I don't have enough. I don't have it. I need more. Anytime we have that energy, we're going to have that energy in every area of our lives. Even if you are really abundant financially, say you have a lot of money, but you're continuing to invest more in your family, in the other people around you and not yourself, that's still a scarcity mindset, okay? And when we're talking about an abundant mindset, abundance says, I am content. I have what I need. Things flow to me and flow through me, and I am whole. And it's that wholeness that is abundant, that knowledge that we are whole. And so when we think about our mindset and our internal kind of patterns and systems, when we have scarcity mindset, we don't believe that we're enough. I'm not enough. I don't have enough. I need to be better. I need to be different. I need a different body. I need a different weight. I need a different house. I need a different personality. I don't have what it takes. I'm not enough. I am lacking. Do you see how this scarcity mindset is destructive, right? And the abundance mindset says, I am whole. I am enough. I matter. Money flows to me. Love flows to me. It flows through me. It's a give and a receive. There's a flow. There's a joy. There's a feeling of, I always have enough. There's so much. There is never a lack. It's all around me. Abundance is everywhere. And sometimes we can get in this place where, and I hear this all the time, oh yeah, that's easy to have an abundant mindset when you have a lot of money, or when you have, a great family, or when you have good looks, or when you have, it's easy to point the finger at somebody else and see why they should have an abundant mindset. But it's really difficult for us to sometimes look within our own lives and see what we have. This is the most important investment you will ever make in yourself. And that is that choice to change your mindset around abundance. Okay, that choice to invest in yourself to be able to have that abundant aura, the abundant mindset. So today I'm going to give you at least 3 different tools to help you to embody this abundant mindset. And the first one is this idea of self-love. The way that we treat ourselves. And I know I've talked about it so many times. You know I'm a huge advocate of self-love. I'm constantly talking about how important it is that we honor and love ourselves. But how do we actually do that? What does that actually look like? So I want you to think about your mindset. What comes up for you when you look in the mirror? Are you consistently talking up to yourself or talking down to yourself? Are you consistently talking in words that are kind and loving to yourself? Or are you constantly picking yourself apart and looking at all the things like, oh, I need to lose a couple inches, and oh my gosh, the bag's under my eyes, and oh my gosh, my roots are coming in, and yeah. Raise your hand. I'm raising my hand over here. That one is so difficult, especially for women, to be able to look at ourselves with kindness and look at ourselves with an abundant mindset of, oh, look what I have. Look what my body can do. Look at the smile on my mouth, on my face. Look at my brown eyes that can see so much. Like I get to see, even with contacts. I mean, thank you so much that I have contacts. How abundant that I am able to see with contacts, even though my original eyesight is not great. That's okay, because I have an abundant ability to be able to see now. That's just one example. But that is the first decision that you'll make is choosing to love yourself. And I actually had a client come to me, and the only reason that she came to me was she said, Colette, I don't know how to love myself. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that looks like. I can't do it. It's the most difficult thing for me. It's not like she had a huge outer goal. Like that was her main goal. And typically when I take on clients, we usually have, an outer goal that we're also reaching towards. But obviously going inward is how we get there. Because it's those patterns, especially this one that this particular client was having, of just not loving herself, just looking in the mirror and just loathing everything that she saw. And not just that, but, not having confidence in her abilities. And I worked with her over the course of several months, and that shift happened within her where she finally was able to see herself with love. She said, I've worked with several, in the tens, therapists and counselors and different people trying to help me work on this. And this was the first time that I've ever felt true self-acceptance and self-love. And she did that through the work that we did together. And what that did for her was that changed her entire trajectory. She started seeing herself differently. She started showing up differently. She was working towards her PhD. She started showing up differently in that area of her life. She started standing up to herself in areas that she was being disempowered and she was being minimized. And it completely changed her trajectory. Now she is able to share what she knows and what she feels deep within to help her own students and to help her circle of influence. And that investment in herself has changed everything. It has not only created an abundant mindset in the way that she sees herself, but it has created abundance in her finances. It's created abundance in her family life, connecting back to her family, connecting back to her friends, connecting back to her body, and learning to love and care for her body properly. Like this investment to choose a mindset of love, compassion, kindness towards yourself, and being willing to do the hard work that it takes to root out those patterns that we get really stuck in. And you've seen that it's a societal thing, like especially women, we have certain patterns that we're just used to. We're just used to talking down to ourselves. We're just used to like, oh, I'm so fat. Like we are used to that mindset. It's almost like a societal systemic epidemic, pandemic. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a disease. We all have it. We all have a part of it. And that's what this work is for. So that's the first one. Choosing to have a new relationship with the way that we talk to ourselves and the way that we see ourselves. And there are many ways that we can do that we can shift that mindset. Having that willingness to say, you know what? I can see that the language that I have towards myself or the way that I view myself isn't helping me. What do I need to do to invest in myself to change that? And it could be something as simple as learning to just catch when you're talking bad to yourself and shift the narrative, being able to shift that narrative and talk to yourself in a different way and be able to see yourself in a different way. Bring in compassion. Compassion is a huge one. And that's going to bring me to the second thing is, we talk about having that investment, that willingness to choose to see yourself differently and to speak to yourself differently. The second part of that is sometimes that doesn't always work, right? It doesn't always work for us to just start talking differently. It's just like an affirmation. When we have an affirmation that we want to create in us, if we have patterns that we have been deeply rooted in, like, say I am calling myself fat all the time. Like I look in the mirror and I just see a belly that is not acceptable. And I'm calling myself fat in a negative way. I'm like, I am so fat, which is something that I struggled with in high school really, really bad. Oh my gosh, that body dysmorphia is a real thing. It's so destructive. So if I'm calling myself fat and then I look in the mirror and I decide to say, well, I'm so skinny, that's kind of the same. It's just the other side of the same coin. Like, oh, I'm so skinny. It's like your body's not going to believe it, but also you're also telling yourself that you need to be skinny. You know what I mean? You're trying to speak against what you don't want by telling yourself what you want, but what you want is still rooted in not enoughness. Like, oh, if I'm skinny, then I will be worthy. Then I will look better in clothes, which will make me more acceptable, which will make me more popular, which will make me feel better about myself because now I am worthy because somehow the shape of my body and the weight on the scale means that I'm good enough, right? So do you see how sometimes if we just try to shift our language, it's still rooted in that not enoughness? So the other piece to this is learning to look at ourselves with compassion, learning to see that version of us that is looking in the mirror and saying, oh, I'm fat, and just get curious about her and say, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting that I have that voice that is calling me fat, and for some reason that makes me feel less than. So it's that less than. And you be with that version of yourself. Take a second as you're looking in the mirror, the trigger goes off. You see yourself, the brain says you're fat. Can you acknowledge like, oh, there it is. There's that voice. And if you heard Lindsay and I's podcast from last week, you know I can choose again. I can acknowledge that voice is not me. It is not who I am. It's just a pattern that I have been stuck in. It's just an idea that I bought into. And so learning to be with yourself. Oh, I see you, honey. I see that you bought into this idea that your belly isn't good enough and that for some reason your body, the way that it looks and the shape is attached to your worth. I see you. It's okay. I'm willing to see you and give you a hug. And be willing to talk to yourself. It is not weird. It is not weird. It will heal you. It will help you to learn to separate the thoughts and the belief from truth. Okay, be willing to get curious and question it. So that first piece is becoming aware of like, what am I saying to myself? What is the language? The second piece is, can I give that part of me compassion? Can I see it as a separate part of me and offer it a little grace? You know what? Yeah, you developed this belief. Of course you did. You felt like you weren't enough. You felt like you needed to be in this certain group in high school. So you thought, oh, they all look super skinny. Maybe I need to be skinny too. Or maybe you read a beauty magazine. That was a big one for me. I loved beauty magazines. But, all those photoshopped images made me feel like, oh, I need to look that way. And the truth is the truth that I need to look skinny and I don't need to look fat? No, the truth is that's an illusion. It's a lie. It's shame. Shame is a lie. It's telling me I'm not enough unless da-da-da-da-da. The truth is, I am worthy. I am enough. So that's the third part, is that we connect to what we're telling ourselves that's disempowering. We offer it compassion. And then that third piece is, how can I shift? What is the action that I will take to change this pattern, to rewire it with a new pattern? And when we are up against the beginning of the year, I love to talk about rewiring, reframing, choosing again. I mean, it's in the air. It's in the air at the beginning of the year, but the truth is that this happens every day. Every single day, every day this year, you're going to need to make this choice to acknowledge and shift the pattern. It's not going to do it on its own. Patterns are going to happen. Problems are going to still be there. You're going to have challenges in 2026, just like you did in 2025. Maybe they will be worse. Who knows? But the truth is, problems aren't going away. Negativity is not going away. Our mindset around it, though, our relationship to the challenges that we come up against are what can change, and that's what will give us the power. It's not that we need to get rid of the problems in our lives. It's that we need to rise to the challenge so that we can face anything that happens. That is what I'm all about. That is what I'm creating in the Colette Kati community. That is what we're doing here, people. That's where I have come. Okay, the challenges that I have faced in life, I would not want to wish on anybody. And I know that you have experienced similar things to where you would not want to wish these on anybody. But it's that daily consistent ritual of deciding to choose yourself and to reframe and rewire the patterns that you've been living out of. That's going to be the difference. Your willingness to choose yourself, your willingness to invest in yourself. Okay, so I want you to think about right now, what is an area of your life that you know you have been robbing from yourself in, that you have been depleting yourself in, that you might be afraid of, that maybe you look at it and you think, I want to change this, but I'm scared, or I don't feel worthy of that, or it's just too hard. What is that area for you? And just notice it. Maybe it's something that you can, maybe it's an area of your life that you know is going to create a lot of work for you. Like if I'm going to go and be healthy, choose a healthy body, not because I think I'm fat or not because I need to change my body so that I can be enough, but how can I operate from a place where I'm already believing that I'm enough? If I believed that I'm enough, what would I do? I would take care of myself. Right? I would invest in that gym membership to go and exercise every day or, 5 times a week or 3 times a week or whatever it is so that I can feel good, that my body can be healthy. I'm going to invest in eating healthy and learning how to cook healthy recipes or a meal prep program that will help me to feel good about myself. I will invest in my hobbies, doing the things that I love so that my kids can see me light up when I learn to do this thing that I've wanted to do my whole life, so that I can prove to them that if I can do it, they can do it, right? That's the kind of investments that I'm talking about. And this wouldn't be a podcast about abundance if we didn't talk about our finances. What do I have the opportunity or could I invest in that will help me grow? That will help me in my business, that will help me in my relationship? What area am I afraid to spend money in that will actually help me? This is your opportunity. And we're using the beginning of the year as a jump start, as a catapult, as a place where it can launch us forward. But truly, any point in time, if you're listening to this at any point in the year, it doesn't matter. You can choose right now to take that risk to invest in yourself. What does that look like for you? Okay. And if there's an area that's come into your mind, but it creates a little fear in you, that's the thing. Answer that call of your heart. Sometimes we don't listen to our hearts because what we're being called to brings up a little fear in us, brings up that uncertainty and that feeling of oh no, what if I do this? It's different. But the truth is that our brains are wired to stay the same because that keeps us safe, right? Our brain is telling us if I do something different, that's unfamiliar and that's not safe. And that's why that fear is coming up. But growth happens in discomfort. Growth happens in awkwardness. Growth happens when you're moving forward in taking risks and you're in uncertainty and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm doing, but here I am and I'm just moving forward. And I feel like all of last year, that was me. And I'm still doing it. But that's where real change happens, you guys. I just want to share, I can't say it enough. Invest in yourself. whatever that looks like, whatever that thing that is calling you forward to do, take the risk and invest in yourself. And if this is creating so much uncomfort for you, so much fear in you, your call and your opportunity to invest in yourself is to just get curious about that. Just sit with it and be like, wow, I really feel uncomfortable with that feeling of growing and moving forward. I wonder what I'm holding on to. And can I love myself through that? Can I let myself be in this kind of messy, unsure discomfort of questioning where I'm at? And if you are going through something big right now, maybe the investment in yourself is to just let yourself be in that. Let yourself grieve. Let yourself feel the sadness that you need to feel long enough to let it move through you, and then you can choose again. Okay, I have so many places I want to go with this, but I don't want to get long-winded. But it really, I can't say it enough. That choice to invest in yourself is going to change everything about 2026 for you. And if you can go at life with that attitude of, if I'm moving from a place of I'm enough, what does that look like? Even if you don't quite feel it yet, if I can imagine that I am somebody that believes that I'm enough, that believes that I'm worthy, that believes that I deserve to have the life that I want, what would I do? What kind of actions would I take? How would I speak to myself? How would I show up? What kind of boundaries would I set? What does that look like and feel like? And just get curious about and explore that. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I hope that you will share with me any experiences that you have as you move forward into 2026, making this choice to invest in yourself. And let me know in the comments what that is for you and what that looks like. And of course, if you want my help, I am here for you. Go check out the links in my bios and my description. I have some things launching this year that are not quite out yet. Wait, stop, hold up. I'm just here interrupting your regularly scheduled programming because Colette from this episode was just about to say that she doesn't have any offers currently for you right now, but that's not true. She does. So here they are. I am now taking private clients for my Rooted Woman VIP intensive. This is a one-on-one private coaching program, and it is customized to you, to what your specific goals are. This program is primarily for women who are in transition, who are maybe going through divorce, going through a hard time. It's also for women who just feel stuck in their lives, who know that they're meant for more, and who want to step into them fully living their lives and really thriving in their dreams and their goals, and they just can't find a way to get there. This is primarily what I do. This is also for women.
Oh, I'm so
Hi.
sorry.
It's okay. What's up?
Look at my cute socks.
Those are so cute. Where did you get
You got
those?
them for me a while ago and I forgot about them.
Oh, I love them. That was a good purchase I gave you.
I'm so sorry.
It's totally
I
fine.
was like, tears run down my... Alright, let's go. Come on.
Louie, hi.
Out.
I mean, you can come say hi.
Oh, guys, I just got back home from school. It was an amazing day. Look at my outfit. Cute. Love you.
So cute.
Love
you. Bye. I love you so much. Okay, that was the best moment. Anyways, what I was saying is, if this calls to you, if private coaching is like, oh my gosh, I would love to learn more about what this could do for me, just DM me. I would love to have a conversation with you. Just shoot me a DM in Instagram and we'll go from there. You can also email me at ColetteKatie with an I @gmail.com. That is also in the description below. So go check it out. Also, for those of you who saw that I did a live in-person event, I am getting ready for the next one. This one will be in mid-March, hosted in Southeastern Idaho. I'm finally inviting people to Idaho. So if this interests you, this is by invite only. So if this interests you and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to be there, I have to know what this is for, what this is like, please DM me. Again, also email me. I'll give you all the deets. All right. I love you guys. Oh yeah, back to current episode, Colette. Okay, I'll see you. Bye. Keep coming back. Come to the podcast. This is where you are going to have the opportunity to grow, to see yourself clearly, and to learn to truly love yourself and to shine in the ways that you were meant to shine. and to live in the empowerment that you were meant to live in. Okay, I love you. I'll see you next week. Bye. Before you go, take a deep breath. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just stay connected to yourself one moment at a time. You've got this. I've got your back, and I'll see you next time.